Welcome to Fernando's Rant of the Day. So the question is, why do I talk so much about success and peak performance? Why am I so obsessed with it? Why is that the topic of my discussions every night and every day? Let me tell you why. There's actually a really good reason why I'm always focusing on peak performance and success theory. So there's two phases that the economy, the entire economy, and your particular industry is ever in. There's two phases. One is expansion, right? We all love it. When the economy is expanding and growing, we love that. Jobs are being built. There's financing readily available to pretty much anyone with a decent credit score. Your industry, when it's expanding, they're hiring, they're promoting, they're growing, right? It's great. The second phase of any economy, there's only two phases. One is growth and expansion, and the second is, you guessed it, contraction. It's contracting and getting smaller. And there's a couple of characteristics that communicate this happening. When it's expanding, there's a lot of confidence in the economy. People are feeling confident about and optimistic about the future, about the direction that the economy is going. And with your particular industry, your particular company, same thing. When it's in expansion, there's a lot of confidence. And there's a direct correlation between confidence and money. World economies are judged based on confidence. How confident are we in the dollar? That will predict a lot for our economy, our particular economy, right? So when it's expanding, there's a lot of confidence in the economy and in that particular industry. However, on the other end of the spectrum, when there's contraction, there's a lot of fear, anxiety, uncertainty in the economy or in your particular industry. Why am I mentioning this? So, do you remember back in 2007? There was a huge contraction in the economy, right? Now, let me tell you something. There is no status quo. The status quo is a myth. There is no kind of average in the middle. An economy and an industry is either growing and it's expanding, or it's contracting and getting smaller, and there's a lot of uncertainty. You are due, your economy, your industry is due for a huge contraction. It's coming. It's coming, right? And it's going to be scarier than the last one. It's going to be a huge contraction in our economy and or probably your particular industry, and the company you're working for is going to get affected. Here's the thing. The only people that don't really care and aren't fazed by these huge contractions in the economy and in their industry are the peak performers. The peak performers, it's business as usual. They're not affected by these huge contractions in the economy. Yes, they bitch. Yes, they moan. It's annoying. They have to reassimilate a few things. They have to restructure a few things in their process. Yeah, they have processes that they're diligent with, but they don't freak out. It's not the end of the world because they know the value that they bring to their organization. They know the value that they bring to their customers. They know the value that they bring to the economy in general and to their industry, right? When there's huge contractions in an economy and in an industry or in a particular company, the people that get hurt the most are the average, are the pretenders, right? So Grant Cardone has a great saying. He says that the marketplace will discipline anyone who doesn't discipline themselves, right? So the peak performers are always disciplining themselves. They're always studying. They're always expanding their circumference of awareness and knowledge in their field. So why? So that they could make sure that they stay valuable to their company, to their industry, to their customers, to their clients. This is why I'm always talking about success theory and winning and peak performance. It's that important. Why? Because think about it in sports. The teams that are the most prepared They don't care if there's rain on the field. They want rain. They want a muddy field. They want rain. They want snow. They want ice on the field. Why? Because they're completely prepared. And they know that their competition, the guy down the street, the guy across the field from them, is probably not as prepared as they are, right? So peak performance in whatever industry you're in is crucial, especially when that contraction comes. And it's going to come. And all of the pretenders are going to be spit out of that industry. They're going to be left bewildered because they don't understand. They've been sitting around pretending for 6 months, pretending that they already got it all together, and they don't, right? Think about it. When there's huge contractions in your company, in your industry, you don't know if your boss is thinking about firing you because you're not sure. You're uncertain about the value you bring to your company, to your store, to your whatever it is, to your industry. You know, so here's what it looks like. So when you're just coasting on average, and I've been there before, okay? No, I'm not passing judgment. I've been there before. So when you're just average in your productivity, when you're not in peak performing, you're just coasting. You're like, everything's good. And then, oh, I didn't realize, Lehman collapsed. There's a huge contraction. They're closing stores. I got a new boss now. I don't know if he likes me or not. I don't know if my new boss likes me because I'm not sure about my own value that I bring to the table. Do you see how all this connects? So peak performance is crucial to your survival. It's a survival mechanism. That's why I'm always talking about it. I'm always harping on it. You want to be a peak performer. If not, the next wave of contraction, if you're just pretending, if you're just coasting, if you're just kind of average and just kind of milking it, you're going to be spit out. And if you don't know your value, other people aren't going to value you. They're going to be confused about your value too. What if your boss starts questioning, what does she bring to the table? What does he bring to the table? What value is he bringing to my group, to my team? Can I trade him off? Can I get rid of him? What would happen if he doesn't show up for a month? Would we even notice? This is what happens in the marketplace. The only ones, like right now, there's a company out there. Most people who are watching this know what company it is. They're going through some changes, right? Now, this company, the people who are peak performing, they'll bitch, they'll moan, but at the end of the day, they're like, okay, well, it's business as usual. It's not going to affect that group very much. Other people, they're in panic mode. They'll go into panic mode, right? So you don't want that to be you. This is why I'm always talking about peak performance. When there's huge contractions in an economy, only peak performers stay because they have enough knowledge of their industry. They have enough knowledge of their clients. I think about this. When my mother got sick, I literally had to spend almost 2 months out of my store. 2 months out of my store. Not working and going through a really difficult emotional time, psychological time in my life. But I was okay. I was okay. I was fine. Financially anyway, right? Why? Because I got myself to a point where I was ready. I was ready for you need to get ready for these things. You need to prepare for them. You can't just hope and pray that these things don't happen. Like they're gonna happen. It's just when it happens, the peak performers, they're the ones. This is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It all starts up here. Expanding your circumference of awareness and massive action is critical to your survival. If not, when the next big contraction, the next big event happens in your life, in your industry, in your company, you're going to be spit out and you ain't going to know what the fuck to do, right? You need to be a peak performer in whatever you're doing. Peak performance. It's key to yours and your family's. This isn't about you. This is about you and your family's well-being and survival and prosperity, right? We really don't want survival. We want prosperity. The only way to get that is to be a peak performer. Peak performance psychology is key. You need to study it, read the 10X rule, read Sell or Be Sold, read everything you can get your hands on. Napoleon Hill's The Laws of Success, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. It's key, it's crucial. If you're just kind of average and coasting, I'm here to warn you, hey, it's coming. The big contraction is coming, and you're not ready. And if you're not ready, when it happens, you're going to suffer the most. Only peak performers don't care about a muddy field, don't care about ice on the field. We want it because we know the competition isn't as prepared. Okay? That's kind of how it works. This is why I talk about peak performance. It's critical to your survival. Get your mind straight. Start studying. Get a mentor. I'm telling you, get a mentor who's already done it. They know the path. They've already been there. They can demystify a lot of the philosophy and knowledge that you're looking for. You won't have to read thousands of books. You'll just have to read a few. Okay? So get a mentor. Study peak performance psychology. It's critical to your survival and your family's survival. Don't just be average. The American middle class is based on average. I'll just do average. I'll just do enough work so I don't get fired. That's not going to cut it when there's a huge contraction, when something bad happens. Okay, be ready. Be prepared. Be a peak performer to where you don't care. You'll be fine. You'll survive and you'll thrive when the next big contraction comes, okay? Peak performance, study, get that mentor. Have a great night. Be blessed. Bye.